Hello all, welcome to SGN Tech Forum. In this video, I'm going to touch base upon one of very critical feature which sometimes confuses many customer and Cisco people, uh, and this is called Cisco Smart Licensing. So Cisco has been traditionally always using perpetual license. That means you buy a equipment and you can use that equipment for the lifetime. There is no expiry for the license. But the license has different categories based on the features you're using, starting from IP based to LAN enterprise and advanced services. So as you grow upon the license category, it include many features. But now Cisco is moving towards a subscription based license model, which mean all these licenses they'll be valid for certain duration like 1, 3 or 5 or 7 year duration. So many customer find it confusing how to transition their perpetual license to smart license, and if they are buying new devices which comes by default with smart license, how to manage those license, how to apply those license. So I'm going to touch base upon this uh, concept. So the agenda for the day is around smart licensing. So as it listed here, what is smart license, what is smart account, what is a virtual account, and how they all tie up together, how to set up a smart account, how to communicate to a smart account, how your network devices, your network infrastructure will communicate to smart account, what are the different licensing terms of a smart license, and then I'll show you the some config snippet of smart licensing configuration, what goes into the device so that device can talk to CSSM, so Cisco Smart Software Smart Licensing. And then I'm gonna present a live demo. I'll use one of my existing devices which is using perpetual license, and I'm going to go ahead and apply a smart license on the top of that using CSSM and network devices. So let's go over some theory first. What is a Cisco Smart Licensing? So Smart Licensing is a cloud-based approach to licensing which simplify purchasing, deploying, and managing entitlement across your enterprise. So you can buy a license, you can deploy those license or enforce those license on network infrastructure, and you can even transfer those licenses. So they are not now tied up with one particular SKU or a pack. You can actually transfer, which makes the RMA so easy. So this is how it looks like. So on my left side I have my CCW, and on my right side I have my Cisco product, and in between I have a smart account. So from CCW I purchase my licenses, and then those are stored in my smart account DB, and then as and when required, when I deploy my network infrastructure, I'm going to apply those licenses to my Cisco products. So this is essentially what smart licensing is doing, and it is a cloud hosted service which is hosted on tools.cisco.com. What is a smart account? Smart account is an entitlement for every customer who is buying Cisco product. So in nutshell, what it is, it's a cisco.com service to organize your asset in a central location. So that means you can have a full visibility of like what licenses, what assets you have in your network structure, and it's a secure login um, from Cisco website. What it is not, it's not just for licensing, it's not just for Cisco one item. So and it has certain benefit around like how you order, how you do RMAs when the equipment goes bad, and how you can actually transfer the licenses, all those things. So so because every customer is kind of like entitled for their own smart account. So smart account you can treat as a organizational level. So if you are a customer, you should have one smart account, but within organization you may have multiple departments. So how to do that bookkeeping or keep tracking of like how many department are using what kind of licenses, which department is using more license, which are using less license, and if you have any cross charge functionality, you can do that kind of tracking. So that's why a smart account is consist of like a virtual account. You can have multiple virtual account based on your department or any other categorically mapping what you want to use. And within your virtual account, you actually add your users, you add your network infrastructure. So this is in nutshell, it looks like a smart account consists of three virtual account: physics, chemistry, and medical. And then you assign your user and network infrastructure to that those account. And what make it really easy is you can actually transfer your licenses across virtual accounts very easily. How to create a smart account? Creating a smart account is very easy. You go to software.cisco.com, and I'm going to show you live how you can do that. You submit your smart account request, and then it will be reviewed by Cisco, and then they uh, gave you permission to create the smart account. Once you have the smart account created, what you can do, so while you order new devices using Cisco Commerce CCW, you create your BOM, and while you're creating your BOM and ready to place the order, you can actually search for smart account and link this BOM to your smart account, so that whenever you buy this equipment, those equipment already automatically assigned to your smart accounts, and all the licenses you purchase have been parked to your smart account, which is awesome. Now, once assuming you have smart account set up, you created your virtual account, and you have some licenses in your smart account. Now, how your network infrastructure can talk to that smart account and consume licenses? So for that, you need to have some sort of connectivity from your network infrastructure, and there are various methods you can talk to smart account. There are few options listed here, like direct cloud access. That means your Cisco network infra, router switches, or anything you see as hosted collaboration has a direct connectivity to cisco.com site. Another way is if you're using proxy for your internet connection. That means you cannot talk to internet directly, but you're using some sort of proxy server. That functionality is also there, so you can define your proxy in smart SCH, smart call home configuration, and it can help you to reach a smart account. Another way is on-prem license management, which is we call it satellite. So it's a mediator between your network infra and smart account hosted at cisco.com. So it's on-prem device. It's a VM which can talk to your network infrastructure, and at the same time it has internet connectivity going back to smart accounts. So it, on periodic basis, it talk to CSSM, pull in all the license information, and then from satellite itself you can enforce the licenses. So for network infrastructure, satellite is it works like a proxy CSSM. And last but very limited use case deployment is full offline access, which is like copy and paste of licensing from CSSM to network infra. Not really scalable, just a corner case scenario. So you have seen that all this communication from 1 to 4, they uses HTTP or HTTPS, and this is how the infrastructure actually work. So if you don't have a direct connection, then you configure your SCH call home profile, and this smart license messages uses HTTP or HTTPS to talk to a smart software manager. Right. Now, if you are using smart licensing, what are the smart licensing terms? So eval period for as soon as you enter a smart license level. So when you enable your smart licensing, eval period is 90 days. So whatever license you have, you get a 90 days of eval period. Within 90 days, you should procure license and apply it. Any term-based license, when you buy a license, smart license, say from CCW, the enforcement or the time start after the device from shipped from factory, 60 days after the device shipped from factory. So that you get some buffer time, and it's not just like you place your order and your equipment arrive 45 days after that. You lose that period of time. Now Cisco gives you a generous 60-day. So if your devices arrive in 10 days, you are using next 50 days for free, without using any license. And if direct or HTTP proxy deployment is in use, device will renew automatically. So it's a periodic resynchronization between device and CSSM every month. This is for direct or HTTP proxy connection. If communication fails one time, then the new attempt is after 1 week. And if this 1 week doesn't happen for next 3 weeks, the authorization is removed. That means the license is no more in use. Smart licenses, while you apply the smart license, you will see various stages. I'm capturing those stages here, but you'll see this while I present the demo. Unconfigured stage, that means smart license is not been configured. Unidentified state, product is unregistered or yet to contact to a CSSM. Registered state is where you enable your smart license and you actually ask it to connect to CSSM, and it goes to CSSM and it finds that you have a valid account, so it's a registered state. Authorized is product is using an entitlement, so now it can reach CSSM at the same time it's consuming a license. So this is kind of like ideal state. Out of compliance, that means product is using an entitlement but you don't have the license, you haven't purchased the license, so that's why it will show you the negative balance. Authorization expired state is product has not communicated with Cisco within maximum 90 days. That means it has registered, but now CSSM is trying to sync with device and it's not able to sync for 90 days, so it's an authorization expired state. So this all basically tell you what is a smart account, what is a virtual account, and this kind of syslog you will see if you have a smart account enabled. You can use this syslog to do some EM scripting, like remind me to do this and do that, so you can do innovative things. I'll present some configuration snippet here, how to configure your network devices to talk to CSSM, but I will show you in more detail while I present the demo. So service call home, if you have direct access or HTTP access, this is what we are going to use. And then you should have your name server configured, because the network device should resolve to www.cisco.com or tools.cisco.com. So you need to have your right name server configured. And then you configure your call home and Cisco tag profile. This is the destination address, authorized backend target. So this is where it will go. This is the URL it will use to reach CSSM. And then you set up your HTTP client source address, and then the routing info, all those things you're going to set. And if you're using VRF for internet reachability, you can specify VRF under the call home configuration. In case you have a proxy, which is my case, in my demo, my devices doesn't have direct connectivity to internet, so I'm using a proxy server. So you can define your proxy also, which I feel really awesome. So this is what we are going to do, and there are some configuration guideline what you can do. All right, so config call home proxy configuration is really simple. So you just go to call home, and under that you say HTTP proxy, and then give your proxy server name and port, what port you're using, and if you're using VRF, you can specify the VRF, and so that it can resolve to tools.cisco.com and have internet have CSSM connectivity. So this completes our theoretical section of Cisco smart licensing, and now I'm going to present a demo, so stay tuned.